1. Introductions. Snap. Thud. Quinn, are you okay? Kilie shouted down to her brother, who was currently on the floor below, looking stunned, his glasses lopsided. It was a warm summer's day. Summer holidays had just started, and Quinn and Kilie had been making the most of it by exploring the woods near their house. They lived with their aunts and uncle in a small town called Honeycombs. It was quiet in the middle of practically nowhere. As Quinn went to sit up, he let out a cry of pain, clutching his left arm as he began sobbing. Kilie immediately headed down from the tree, crouching down next to him. "Oh my gosh, come on, let's get you to the house. Uncle Vivian will be able to help," Kilie told him as she tried to pick him up, almost falling over but stabilizing herself. With that, Quinn was slowly carried by his twin sister to the house. Quinn all the while clinging to her sadly, his sister's curly light brown hair getting in his face a bit. The pair soon enough reached their house, their Aunt Vida, seeing the pair and quickly taking Quinn out of Kilie's arms. Kilie sighing in relief as she no longer had to carry Quinn. "What in the world did you pair do?" Vida looked at the pair as she put some ice onto Quinn's arm. We were climbing a tree and Quinn kinda maybe fell because I might have accidentally kicked him on accident." Kilie fidgeted, biting her lip as she explained. In the face. Vida sighed as she shook her head before heading upstairs to call down her brother. "Vivian, get down here, your nephew is hurt!" Vida shouted up, hands on her hips. A groan could be heard from the attic before Vivian climbed out of it, still in his nursing scrubs. His light brown hair a mess, light blue eyes surrounded by dark circles, the left one being blind, and his body covered in sticky notes. Yeah, okay," Vivian mumbled as he walked past Vida over to Quinn, who was holding the ice to his forearm, his light green and white striped beanie on his lap as he continued to cry. Vivian looked at Quinn for a few seconds. "Probably broken," Vivian simply stated before walking out the front door and over to the car. We're going to the hospital," Vivian mumbled. Quinn quiet following after him, Kilie and Vida following suit. The four soon enough reached the hospital, entering the ER and waiting for about 2 hours before Quinn could even get an X-ray. Yep, broken. Quinn soon enough had a cast put on his arm and a sling. "OMG, Quinn, let me be the first to sign your cast." Kilie bounced over and pulled Quinn over by his light green crop top, which he wore over his usual white shirt. Quinn stumbled forwards a bit, but smiled a little. "Fine, just don't kick me in the face again," Quinn teased, narrowing his eyes. Kilie rolling her eyes before pulling out a highlighter and writing G1-Quinn0:P on his cast. Kilie looking at her unimpressed, but struggling not to laugh. "You kicked me out of a tree, now you're making fun of me?" Quinn looked at Kilie, who had a smirk plastered on her face. "Yep." The days passed and the sun rose again, on a new day. No falling out of trees this time. "I forgot to put punctuation," Vida called to the twins as she pinned up a client's dress, smirking a bit as she spoke. Quinn sighed a bit at the words, but smiled, Kilie already out of the door. Okay. Quinn, I have an idea. What if we headed over to the new place down the road? Kinda want to see who the new person is. I heard they're from Japan." Kilie grinned at Quinn as she spoke, closing the front door of the house. Quinn went to respond to her when a voice spoke up from the driveway. "You pair better not bother her. She's probably having a hard enough time when moving to a new country." It was Winona, their aunt, Vida's wife. Winona had appeared to be getting out of their car after getting home, since she'd been out of town for a science display in Birmingham. "Winona, hi! We weren't planning on bothering her. We just wanted to say hi to her." Kilie bounced over to her. Winona sighed. "If you say so, just be nice to her. I actually met her briefly in college, since your uncle knew her from MySpace or something. I don't really know. I wasn't much of a social media person back then. Winona smiled a bit as she said the last part before messing up Kylie's hair and patting Quinn on the shoulder. Hey! Kylie exclaimed as her hair was messed up. We'll see you in a bit. Kylie smiled back at her as she fixed her hair. Quinn nodded in agreement. See you at dinner, he smiled before Kylie grabbed his hand and the pair ran off into town. Soon enough, the pair reached a small place. A new place. A small building labelled the Shrine of Tsukuyomi. The pair looked at the building. It was pretty, with a talisman inside hanging above the door. A list of rules on the side. 1. Please bow before entering over the toy gate. 2. Please wash your hands and mouth using the available temizuya, the water, and use the ladles as placed out. 3. Please make an offering before praying. 4. To pray, ring the bell, bow twice, clap twice, and bow again. It's appreciated if you change into clean shoes when entering. Kylie hummed as she a bit as she read this before bowing as told and washing herself as the sign said. Probably not correctly, but she tried. Quinn, however, hesitated before doing anything. We need to offer money and change our shoes, Quinn questioned, glancing over at Kylie. I guess so. Kylie shrugged as she opened the door, causing Quinn to panic and quickly bow to the toy gate, quickly washing his hands and mouth before running after Kylie, who had entered the shrine. It was neat. Nearby they could see the shrine owner. She was pretty. Her hair was black with curls, but they seemed to be greying a bit. Her eyes were blue, and her skin a light brown tone, a mole above her right eye, and an almost eye-shaped birthmark on her forehead. Excuse me, are you the owner? We heard you were new here and wanted to see if you needed any help. Kylie smiled. Quinn walked over to the woman. I can't speak today, 1 second. She turned to face him, though he didn't quite meet his gaze. She seemed to be looking him up and down. That's nice of you to ask, but it's quite all right. That young one, Alex, the one with the half-and-half face, already came over to help out. She smiled at the pair. Quinn was a bit surprised at her words. Firstly, the fact that Alex had already shown up to help when typically they're pretty busy. And secondly, from the fact she straight up described her face as half and half. It had a figure like, describe her face as half of it had vitiligo as having a half and half face. Quinn laughed nervously. Oh, that's good then. He smiled a bit before Kylie moved over and stood beside him. My name's Kylie, by the way. This is my twin brother, Quinn. Kylie smiled, holding out a hand for a handshake, the woman not taking her hand. Those are beautiful names. My name is Nynaeve. Nynaeve smiled, holding her hands in front of her. Not a handshake person? Kylie questioned, a bit confused, since Nynaeve didn't shake her hand, yet didn't seem to have any malicious intent. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I didn't see your hand, Nynaeve apologized, placing her hand on her chest. See, I'm blind. I have retinitis pigmentosa, so I have very little vision, so I might not always see what you're doing if you're doing something. Nynaeve explained. Quinn nodded as in understanding. Kylie smiled. Oh, that's okay. No problems there. Nynaeve nodded at Kylie's reassurance. Honestly, for a bit I thought you were the same person. Nynaeve laughed a bit. Gwen felt his heart sink a bit. But now I know you're not. You're definitely two different people, a boy and a girl. I didn't put punctuation. Nynaeve smiled a bit, looking at Quinn as she called him a boy. Quinn smiled back, feeling a weight off his chest. Well, it's a nice day outside. You shouldn't be spending it camped up in here. You pair ought to go have fun, Nynaeve told the pair before ushering them out the door.